Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fine. So, today we will start your 8th chapter of English, A Lesson in Life from a Beggar. So, this is a story of a girl who was having pessimistic nature, means she always she was having a negative attitude towards life, means she always thinks negative that what is good in this, and she find fault in everything. So later on, she met a beggar in her life, and that beggar totally changed her nature. She became extremely positive after meeting that beggar, and her attitude towards life totally changed. So, how that happened? So, let us read in this chapter. Meena is a good friend of mine. She is an LIC officer earning a good salary, but there was something strange about her. She was forever happy. Whenever I met her, I would start to feel depressed. It was as through her gloom and cynicism had a way of spreading to others. She had never anything positive to say on any subject or about any person. So the narrator is telling that Meena was one of her good friend, and they were working in a, you can say, in one office, in an LIC office, and she was earning a good salary also. But even then, she was very unhappy, and whenever the writer meet her, she always, you can say, um she always make her also depressed, and means she spread the you can say sadness around her, and she means never have any kind of positive thinking. She always thinks like, what is this, and means she do not have any kind of positive thinking for anything or any person. She always speak in a negative way. For instance, I might say to her, Meena, did you know Rakesh has come first in his school? So, for example, now writer is telling you that, for example, when she tell to Meena that you know that Rakesh has come first in his class, so Meena's immediate reaction would be to belittle the achievement, means to disgrace that thing, not to add more words or not to show the excitement or the positive response. Instead of that, she belittles that achievements. Naturally, his father is a school teacher, she would say. So she said that you can say it's obvious he will come first in the school. Why? Because his father is a teacher, so there is no big achievement if he came first in the school. Then if I said, Meena, Shweta is very beautiful girl, isn't she would be pessimistic. When a pony is young, he look handsome. So means a pony is young, he look handsome is an idiom. So she was, means when a writer said to her that don't you think that our Shweta is beautiful, then she said that she is beautiful because she looks beautiful because she is young, and as the age, you can say, increases, the person become dull. So again, a negative remark. It is age that matters. Wait for some time. Shweta will be the uglier than anyone than you know. So, like this, she is passing negative remarks like that Shweta will also become uglier with the passage of time. Meena, is this? It's a beautiful day. Let's go for a walk. And when writer asked Meena to go for a walk on a beautiful day, no, the sun is too hot, and I get tired if I walk too much. Besides, who says walking is good for health? There is no proof. So then again her reply is totally negative. She said that sun is very hot, and I will get tired if I walk. And also she remarked that there is no proof that walking improves our health or walking is good for our health. So there is no, you can say, no benefit of walking. And means again she refused to um, act positively. Then that was Meena. She stayed alone in an apartment in Bangalore as her parents lived in Delhi. Means she was living separately from her parents because of the job in Bangalore, and she was an only child and had the habit of complaining about anything and everything. So the writer's opinion is that because of the thing that she was the only child of her parents, so that's why she was having a habit of complaining about each and everything. And naturally she wasn't very pleasant company, and nobody wanted to visit her. So because of her negative nature, nobody goes to her home to meet her because of her this kind of nature. Then one day Meena was transferred to Bombay, and soon we all forget about her. So then what happened? She was transferred from Bangalore to Bombay, so she shifted there, and all the staff members forget about Meena. Many years later, I found myself caught in the rain at Bombay Flora Fountain. It was pouring, and I didn't have an umbrella. So now writer is talking about the thing that happened many years later. What happened? Writer was in Bombay, and there was pouring means to say heavy rain, very heavy rain was there, and writer was not having any umbrella, and she was standing at a, you can say, at a stoppage. I was waiting for the rain to subside means to say stop. Suddenly I spotted Miga, and what happened then? My first reaction was to avoid being seen by her, having to listen to her never ending complaints. So suddenly writer saw that Meena was also standing over there, and she tried to avoid her because she knows that when even if I start talking to her, she will again, you can say, pass any kind of negative remark, and I don't want to, you can say, indulge myself in any kind of negative talk. So however, she had already seen me and caught hold of my hand cheerfully and said, "Hey, I'm really excited. It's nice to meet old friends. What are you doing here?" So now writer was not, you can say, started the conversation, but Meena saw her, and she immediately hold her hand cheerfully and said that, "How are you?" And she means extremely positive, extremely excited, and said that that it's very good to meet old friends. And she asked from the writer that how are you and why you have come here? What are you doing here? So then I explained that I was in Bombay on official work. So then the writer explained that she came to Bombay for an official work. So then stayed with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. She said, "Let's chat. Do you know that old wine, old friends, and memories are precious and rare?" So now Meena is saying that you should stay with me tonight, and we will have a conversation. We will chit chat with each other. And she is saying that old wine, old friends, and memories are very precious. I couldn't believe it. Was this really Meena? I pinched myself hard to be sure that it wasn't a dream. So now writer was completely shocked. She was saying that I was completely shocked, and I pinched myself to confirm that yes, she's Meena. But Meena was really standing there, right in front of me, squeezing my hand, smiling, and yes, she did look happy. So now writer was sure that yes, Meena was standing in front of her and holding her hand, smiling, and she's also looking happy. In the 3 years she had been in Bangalore, I have never once seen her smiling like that. So now writer is recalling that when she was in Bangalore for the last 3 years, means when at that time when she was in Bangalore, she never saw her smiling. A few strands of gray in her hairs reminded me that years have passed. Now means her because now writer is meeting her after so many years, so her gray hairs reminded the writer that that was a thing of so many years old. So there were a few wrinkles on her face, but the truth was that she looked more attractive than ever before. Now, because of the age, there are means a few wrinkles are also there on her face, but even then, she is looking beautiful and attractive today. Why? Because she was happy now. So she is happy now, so that's why she is looking attractive. Finally, I managed to say, "No, Meena, I can't stay with you tonight. I have to attend a dinner. Give me your card. I will keep in touch with you, I promise." So writer refused to stay with her because she was having a dinner appointment with someone else, and she said that, "Please give me your card, so I will keep in touch with you." So then, for a moment, Meena looked disappointed. "Let's go and have a tea at least," she insisted. So then she was a little bit disappointed. Meena was a little bit disappointed, and then she again asked the writer that, "At least, if you don't want to stay with me tonight, let us have a cup of tea together." But Meena, it's pouring. Pouring again means to say heavy rain. So the writer said, "It's pouring, it's heavy rain, and how we can go there? So what? We will buy an umbrella and then go to the Grand Hotel," she said. Sumina replied that there is no problem, even if it is raining heavily, we will buy an umbrella and then go. "We won't get a taxi in this rain," I grumbled. So again, grumble means to say complain in a bad tempered way. So again the writer said that we will not get any kind of taxi in this rain. "So what? We will walk." Again Meena replied, "So what? Then what is the big issue? We will walk to the hotel." Then I was surprised. That wasn't the same Meena I had known. Today she seemed ready to make any number of adjustments. So the writer was completely shocked that how the girl, which was having totally negative, you can say, thinking, and the girl who was used to refuse about anything, today she is ready to go in this much heavy rain by walking, you can say. So that's means the big change in her nature she was observing. We reached the grand hotel drenched means to say completely wet. So by then the only thought in my mind was to find out who or what had brought about such a change in pessimistic Meena that I had known. I was quite curious. So the writer was thinking that what happened to Meena, and what is the thing that changed her this much. And she was earlier she was totally pessimistic, and now she is totally optimistic. Means a drastic change was there in Meena's nature, and she wanted to know about that. She was very curious, means she was having the curiosity to know that what changed her life. Tell me, Meena, is there any Prince Charming who managed to change you? So then she asked Meena that if there is any person or any means any of male friend that changed her life like this. Meena was surprised by my question. No, there isn't anyone like that, she said. So Meena replied, no, there is nothing like that. Means there is no man in my life. Then she smiled and then said, a beggar changed my life. Now she said that a beggar changed my life. I was absolutely dumbfounded, and she could see it. Dumbfounded means to say made speechless with surprise. So the writer was completely speechless now, and she was also observing that she is surprised because of my, you can say, changed nature. Yes, a beggar, she repeated as if to reassure me. So he was old and used to stay in front of my house with his 5 years old granddaughter. So now Meena is telling that yes, a beggar changed my life, and now she is telling about the beggar. That beggar was an old person, and that beggar was staying there in front of my house with his little, you can say, 5 year old granddaughter. As you can see from the picture also, there is a grandfather and granddaughter dancing in rain. So this was the beggar that was, you can say, staying in front of Meena's house. Then on the next page, I used to give my leftover to this beggar every day. Leftover means to say the food that has not been eaten, and that means excess food that she was having at her home. Sorry. So that's why she was saying that I used to give my leftover to this beggar every day. I never spoke to him, nor did he spoke to me. One monsoon day, I looked out of my bedroom window and started cursing the rain. So now she is telling that what happened exactly. That she was giving the, you can say, extra food to that beggar, and they never speak to each other. Means they never have any kind of conversation with each other. And what happened one monsoon day, when rain was coming, I looked out of my bedroom window and started cursing the rain. Cursing means to say passing, you can say, bad remarks about the rain. That what is this? I don't know why I did this, because I wasn't even getting wet. So Meena is saying that I don't know why I was passing these kind of remarks for the rain. I was inside my house and I was not even getting wet, but even then I was doing that. That day I couldn't give the beggar and his granddaughter their daily quota of left hairs. They were hungry, I'm sure. So she was thinking at that time, okay, she haven't given the leftover food on that day because of rain, and they must be hungry because of that. But however, what I saw from my window surprised me. The beggar and the young girl were playing on the road because there was no traffic. They were laughing, clapping, and screaming joyously as if they were in paradise. Hunger and rain did not matter. They were completely drenched but totally happy. I emphasized their gist for life. So now she was explaining the scene, that what happened on that day, that when she looked out of the window, both the, you can say, grandfather and granddaughter, they were dancing in the rain. They were clapping, they were laughing, and they were screaming, means shouting with joy. And means it seems like they were in paradise. Paradise means to say heaven, jannat, or swarg जिसे हम बोलते हैं. So hunger and rain did not matter to them, and they were completely drenched means to say completely wet. And but even then they were happy. So I emphasized their just for life just means to say interest or enjoyment. So she was surprised to see their enjoyment or their willingness for the life. That scene forced me to look at my own life. I realized I had so many comforts, none of which they had. So at that time, she came to, you can say, she was convinced to think that she is having so many things, but even then she is complaining. And the thing is that the beggar and his granddaughter is having nothing with them, but even then they are happy. So, but they had the most important of all assets. Asset means to say things of value. So one which I lacked, so she was thinking like that, okay, I have so many things, but even then those things are useless to me because I always remain unhappy. But those two people, they were having no shelter, no food, no clothes properly, but even then they are happy, and this happiness is their biggest asset. So, and that asset I don't have. So they knew how to be happy with the life as it was. I felt ashamed of myself. I even started to make a list of what I had and what I did not have. So at that time she was so, you can say, so influenced by their happiness, by their behavior, that she decided to make a list of the things that she have and that she don't have. And I found I had more to be grateful. Grateful means to say to be thankful for than most people couldn't imagine. So when she made a list, she found that she is having so many things, and she has to be very grateful, very thankful, because these kind of things are, you can say, not all people have these kind of things, and she is having all the comforts of the life. That day I decided to change my attitude towards life using the beggar as my role model. So now at that time she said that I decided to change my attitude towards life, and that beggar was the role model of my life. After a long pause, I asked Meena how long it had taken her to change. So then the writer asked Meena that how long it took that you change yourself. So once this realization dawned, she said it took me almost 2 years to put the change into effect. So she said that it took 2 years. And as you know, I was a chronic pessimist. Chronic means to say the long lasting, means I was you can say pessimistic from my birth, say, or from the young age. So it took 2 years to completely change. Old habits die hard means it's very difficult to change your old habits. It's again an idiom, sorry. Then but now nothing matters. I am always cheerful and happy. I find happiness in every small thing, in every situation, and in every person. So now Meena said that yes, it took some time, but now I am totally, you can say, I always remain happy and cheerful now. I find happiness in everything and every person in every situation. Did you give Guru Dakshina to the Guru? I asked. Now the writer asked that have you, Guru Dakshina means to say your fees, your, you can say, the fees that person pays to teacher for, you can say, for the teachings. So no, unfortunately by the time I understood things, he was died. So the Meena said that I was unable to do that. Why? Because the when I understood the things, at that time that person was no more. But I sponsored his granddaughter to a boarding school as a mark of respect to him. Sponsored means to say supported somebody by paying for their education or for some means for some purpose. So Meera, you can say Meena's, you can say how she sponsored her. She sponsored her by giving money and paying the school fees, and arranged a boarding school for the granddaughter of that beggar. And in this way, she paid her respect to that beggar. So this is your story. I hope you understood it very well, and this is a very beautiful story. And you can say very good message is there in the story, is that we should always remain happy, whatever the situation may be. We should always respond to that situation in a positive manner. Never be negative in any kind of situation. We have lot many comforts. Life has given us so many things to be grateful, to be thankful. So we should always be grateful, instead of complaining for the things that we don't have. This is the, you can say, this is the secret of being happy. So we should always follow these kind of things in our life. Then students try to solve these question answers based on the chapter. Then vocabulary is given. I hope you can solve these question answers. Then in vocabulary portion, what they have given in B1, read the phrases taken from the lesson in a column A and match them with the meanings in B. So in A column, there are the phrases taken from the chapter, and in B, their meanings are written, and we have to match these. So first one is you have to match it with the third one. Belittle the achievement means to say dismiss one's achievement as unimportant. Then never ending complaints means to say you have to match it with the first one on the B side, that is having no end of dissatisfaction or annoyance. Then third is absolutely dumbfounded, so it is here astonished greatly. Last in the B column, and just for life, great enthusiasm and energy for life, second in the B column. So you have to match these. I have already done for you, and then there is a task for you that you have to read the below given paragraph carefully, and then you have to use these phrases as given in A column to fill the four blanks given in the below paragraph. So I hope you can do this easily. Now you know the meaning of these phrases, and you can easily use these phrases in these four fill-ups. Then next is given idioms are given students for you. As you know, idioms are the things means in which the thing is conveyed, the meaning is conveyed in a colorful manner. We have done idioms in your previous class also, so simply idioms are given here. First one is lend an ear. What does it mean? To listen attentively. When you listen somebody's conversation attentively, that is known as lend an ear. Then shape up or ship out, it means used to tell someone that if they don't improve their performance at work, they will lose their job, means a warning to a person. Then point of no return, so a point where you have to continue with what you have decided to do, means when you can't change your path, that is you can use the idiom point of no return. Then put one's foot down, be very strict and firm using one's authority. Put one's foot down means being very strict if you're having the authority of doing means of any kind of authority if you are having. So if you are being so strict to the people who are working under you, then you can use this idiom, put one's foot down. Then through the grapevine, what does it mean? Informal way of spreading a message. So through the grapevine means to say the informal way of spreading a message. Then ring a bell, it reminds you of something but you cannot remember it exactly. So these are the idioms that are given. Then they have used these idioms in the below given sentences, so you have to read these also. Then in B3 section, what you have to do here, given below are certain abbreviations that can be used for street addresses. Match the words with its abbreviations. One has been done as an example. So see students, what you have to do in this B3 you can say part of your chapter. Here abbreviations are given on the B side. Abbreviation means to say the short form of something. The complete word is given on the A side and abbreviation is given on the B side, and you have to match the correct abbreviations. For example, instead of writing doctor completely, we simply write DR. Instead of writing, you can say many other profession like engineer, we will write only ER. So similarly, when you have to write some addresses like road or something like that, street, there is no need to write complete road or complete street. For street we can write ST only, for road we can write RD only. So here all these kind of words are there like apartment, avenue, fort, gardens, heights, mount, place, road, route, street. Road and route I have already told you, and rest you have to match avenue with AVE, fort with FT, apartment with it is given at the last APTS. So I hope you can do this. This is very easy, so I am leaving it for you. I have solved 4 5, rest you have to do. Then next come your grammar portion, and what is given in the grammar portion? Asking questions. So students, what is here? Simply we use these kind of things from your lower classes also, like using WH words to create questions. What are WH words? The words, question words which begin with WH words like what, when, why, where, whom, whose, how, all these kind of words. So we can use question words like these to ask question, and the table below shows the uses of these question words. So here in this table they have described that what is the use of this particular word, what kind of question you can create using this word. Firstly, who or whom. To ask about the name or the identity of person, like who is your best friend, whom do you invite. So when you have to ask about the identity or the name of any person, you can use the word who to begin your question, to make your question. Then second is what. What is used to ask any information, ask for any information, like what's your name, what do you call it, so like this. Then third word is when. When is used to ask about time, like when he will come home, when you will come to school, so like this. Then why word is there. So why is used to ask for reason, to ask about reason, like why do you often come late, why didn't you stop her, and like this, so on. Then where word. Where is used to ask a question about place, like where is Dia, where are you going, like this. Then whose word. Whose is used to ask about the person that something belongs to, like whose bag is this, whose pen is this. This is the very common question that you ask in class when you spot anything placed on the table or anywhere or on the floor. You ask, simply ask, whose pencil is this, whose pen is this. So to ask about the person that you can say something belongs to. So when you have to ask this kind of question, you will use the word whose. Then next word is which. Which is used to ask about the choice between two or more alternatives. Two or more alternative means to say options. So like which are the dresses you really like, which do you want me to buy for you, and which do you wish to opt for, science or commerce, like this. Then how word. So how is used to ask about the manner in which something is done, like how do you manage to keep the place so tidy, and how do I make the payment, how are you. So to ask about the manner of the state, we can use this word how. So I hope it is clear to all of you. Then students, what is given in the C1, you can say exercise, read the answers and write the suitable questions for each using question words. So first has been done, like answer was I am fine, thank you. So as you know, when you ask the question how are you, so answer comes like I am fine, thank you. So then second is I want a glass of water please. So you can say what do you want. So like this you have to frame questions for the given answers. Next statement which is given is that I live in Frasertown. So you can simply ask where do you live. Then I am annoyed with them. What's the matter with them? Then nothing is wrong with me. What happened to you? So like this I am going to market. Where are you going? That was the newspaper boy. Who was he? So like this, with all the answers, for all the answers, you can make question easily using all the WH words. WH word means to say what, when, who, whom, whose, how, why, all these words. So which, all these words. So I hope it is understood. Then again, in C2 exercise, what you have to do here, read the shortened questions in the box and fill in the blanks in the conversation with the suitable ones for the from the among given. So a box is given to you and some words are given here. What you have to do, you have to again fill the, you can say, missing words in the given, below given fill ups, like one is done for you. I went out. Where did you go yesterday? I went out. What time? In the evening. So again answer is given, I went to the shopping mall. Where did you went, or where did you go, sorry, where did you go? So I went to the shopping mall. We went to the city center. So like this you again have to frame the questions for these answers. So this is all about your chapter, students. I hope you have understood it very well. So try to solve all the exercises based on this chapter, and thanks for listening and have a nice day.